Welcome to Canadian Politics for Dummies. I'm Mark Adam, head dummy. No hat today, but yeah, I gotta rock the hoodie, you know? I don't feel the suit. We break down Canadian politics into digestible bites so the less politically savvy among us can understand, or at least start asking the right questions. Now, if you've been paying attention to Ottawa, and I know that is a big ask requiring the consumption of industrial quantities of coffee, but you might have heard about Mark Carney's, our Prime Minister's, legislative sprint. The Carney government is currently on an economic mission trying to build baby build and show Canada can act with unimaginable speeds. But amidst all of the urgent talk about trade wars and building new ports, a bill with a very boring name, the Strong Borders Act, or Bill C-2, has managed to sneak in something that makes it wilder than a 140-page legislative document has any right to be. Critics like Conservative MP Michelle Rempel-Garner didn't mince words. She called the contentious elements a massive poison pill containing straight-up snooping provisions. And when a government tries to sneak major surveillance powers into a bill titled the Strong Borders Act, you have to wonder, is this legislation designed to protect us from foreign threats or just from us? So, what is this bill supposed to be doing? Officially, C-2 is a big old kitchen sink bill designed to modify many existing laws from the Criminal Code to the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act. It's meant to bolster Canada's capacity to combat transnational organized crime and show the US that we are serious about securing the border. The key issue here that we're going to talk about is lawful access, which is bureaucrat speak for the police wanting your data right now. Thomas Carrick of the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police argues that criminals' use of communications and encryption technology has raced ahead of existing legislation. They need to keep up. For instance, groups like the Canadian Centre for Child Protection say that getting traditional authorizations, aka warrants, to link an IP address to a suspect can take months. And in crime fighting, months are like dog years. You lose evidence, the trail goes cold, and then you just have to hope the criminal tweets their confession? Now, what information are the police actually asking for here? They swear it's just the bare minimum information. Former CSIS director Richard Fadden went so far as to compare the biographical data that police want, things like who is your internet provider, to what police could have easily gotten from an old phone book 20 or 30 years ago. The phone book. An historical artifact exclusively used by serial killers and people who refuse to acknowledge that, the internet exists. If you trust that C-2 is just recreating the experience of this old fossil, then Prime Minister Carney's Public Safety Minister, Gary Anandasangari, assures you it will strike the right balance with the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. It's totally fine. Totally fine, guys. Trust them. They are the government. Unfortunately for the government, the definition of a phone book has evolved. In 2025, your phone book includes your location, your search history, and what communication services you use, like a Gmail account. And Shakir Rahim of the Canadian Civil Liberties Association, or CCLA, added a trove of background about our lives. And yeah, I did just say your search history. You thought I was going to gloss over it, but even the most wholesome of us would be embarrassed by what a stranger would find in our search history with no context. This is why the CCLA has serious concerns that this bill is not compliant with the Charter. The Supreme Court ruled back in 2014 in R.V. Spencer that this kind of information is, in fact, within a person's reasonable expectation of privacy. Apparently, the government thought that ruling was more of a suggestion than a binding legal precedent. The core complaint highlighted by law experts like Michael Geist is that the Liberals are trying to sneak old failed surveillance provisions into a completely separate border security bill. It's like hiding a jar of spoiled mayonnaise in a fruit salad. Yeah, you ruin the whole fucking thing. Not to mention that this lawful access provision is, well, it's like the bad mayo. It's not very well hidden. But here's the most ridiculous part of this whole thing. The bar set for police to demand this trove of information is incredibly low. They don't need reasonable grounds for a major crime. They just need to suspect any violation of any act of parliament. Any violation. You could be selling a used item while pretending it's new, which is a violation of Section 411 of the Criminal Code. Or, and this is a real example cited by critics, camping without a permit. We are giving police warrantless access to your data so they can stop unauthorized marshmallow roasting? And that's kind of the bloated, overreaching power grab that keeps the opposition very busy. Speaking of busy, you know who is never shy about being aggressively opposed to liberal spending and government overreach? Everybody's favorite conservative leader, Pierre Poilievre. PP is on record dismissing Prime Minister Carney's plans as all show business and no real business, which is rich coming from the guy who recently had to run in a by-election just to get back into Parliament. Although left-leaning folks were fans of watching him hold those press conferences outside all by himself, talking and waving to almost nobody. I bet everyone is less excited about the $1.7 million that his by-election cost, but that's neither here nor there, apparently. But even those who support police having modern tools agree this Strong Borders Act process is messy. Former CSIS Director Fadden wished these changes hadn't been buried in an omnibus bill ostensibly about the border, fearing the controversy wouldn't get the attention that it deserves. So, the government says, trust us, it's necessary for safety. And the opposition says, no way. You're just creating a police surveillance state with a warrant standard so low it could be used to catch me illegally downloading episodes of Paw Patrol. Ultimately, this is less about borders and more about who gets to hold the keys to your digital life. And if the price of a secure border is warrantless surveillance over a potential fine for public urination, well, maybe we should take the time to figure out why the government is so desperate to rush this through Parliament before their next holiday. Thank you for joining us here on Canadian Politics for Dummies. I am Mark Adam, your head dummy, and we will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It goes a long way to help the channel. Please share if you feel comfortable, comment below, do all that stuff, engage as much as you can. Until next time, bye dummies.